Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Pause with Elizabeth Elenor, and this morning we're actually going to be talking about the Alchemist's way. I'm going to give you the lowdown of rewriting reality. So, who's ready? Who's going to jump in and start rewriting? 'Cause this is all about being consciously competent, right? This is all about, if you're someone that's been on this spiritual path and journey for a little while, this is for you, because we have a reality that is not just ours. Let me just put it that way. So if you're watching, I'd love for you to say hi and where you're watching from. If you're watching the replay, please put hashtag replay so I can come in and say hi to you. And let's do this, right? Because I want to give you all of the pieces to, the sacred science of creation. Because let's face it, if you've been on this journey for a while, you've been a magical woman doing your thing for a while, then you have been down that route of looking into your shadow work, right? Looking into dissolving all of the wounding and all of the trauma and, past lives and all of those things. And one of the things, and hey, I can put my hand up because I definitely was on that track myself. I've been doing this for 28 years, so if I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you, my name is Elizabeth Elenor, and I've been on this journey for 28 years, been doing, the deep, heavy work for a long time. Grew up with trauma in my life. Who hasn't? Like, put your hand up, give me a love heart if you've been on that same journey. Grew up in chaos. And through that experience, my dad died when I was 15, and I started questioning what on earth is this all about, and where did he go? Because I knew that he was going to die. I had, he wasn't expected to die, but he was on a kidney machine while I was growing up. He'd got a kidney, and everything was, awesome. I was in year 10 at school. Everything was awesome, and then it didn't work, so they had to take it out. And within, I think it was a couple of weeks, maybe it was a month, I can't remember. I think it was a couple of weeks because I was young and numb. He passed away at home while I was at school. Now, I had a feeling he was going, I had this knowing that he was going to pass. And when they came into the classroom, they said, I just went, he's dead, isn't he? I just knew. And I started questioning, what is it? Where did he go? Why do I feel like he's in a library somewhere? I started questioning. But then, of course, 10 years of going and numbing myself out, grieving, creating more chaos in my life because that's all I knew. And this is the thing, right? We grow up with particular patterns of behavior. We grow up with the way things are in our relationship to life because we grow up in a set of circumstances, right? We grow up with our culture and our family. We grow up in the way we look at our eyes through or life through a lens of everything that's come before us. All the family traits, all of the social dogma, all of the religious, if that was your scene, and even if it wasn't, we all have religion, overriding everything in our world. And so we have beliefs that this is the way it is, that we're here on this planet and this is the way it is, right? Well, I've watched things shift in society and in the spiritual realms, in the spiritual development industry, you can call it an industry. I have watched as things are starting to come back to those ancient ways of recognizing the power of ritual, the power of cycles, the power of our own ability to create, the mastery of spiritual tools, right? Because we have spent so much time in looking at what's the wounds, looking back at our darkness, our shadow, and trying to fix it. And here's the thing, the more you do that, the more you discover that you are going to constantly find things to fix, because we live in a broken world. We live in a world that feels like there's something wrong, that we're separate, that we don't have enough. We live in lack, right? And that's how most of us grew up. I'd say 99% of the time we grew up in a world that we felt broken. In fact, I would say 100% of the time, because even people that grew up with love, support, financial abundance, all of those things, those souls came down to experience their own things to correct, their own wounding that they wanted to experience themselves as the light, right? And here's the thing. We are in a time and space where we are... One second, I've got the heater on and there's dry air. We are in a time and space where there's things that are shifting and moving. And what we're doing now is embodying truth. And the truth is that we are powerful creators. We have the ability to choose in every single moment, every single second. We have a choice. Now, it may not feel like that because, we might be in a horrible relationship, right? We might be in a relationship where our partner is not giving us the attention that we want. We might feel like we're stuck because we've got children and, we're invested in this relationship or, in our job or whatever it might be. It takes a lot when you're stuck in that energy of feeling like, I can't do anything about this because this is my circumstances. It's a big thing, a big ask to move out of that. I remember when I separated from the father of my kids, and I was young. I didn't have a voice. I didn't think very highly of myself. I had been raised in a family where I, was constantly told that what I saw or experienced or felt was wrong, and this is what it is. So I'd been raised to believe that everyone else was right and I was wrong. Don't listen to my internal voice because it was wrong. And give me a thumbs up if that if you know what I mean. A lot of people have had this same experience, right? So when it came to living in a relationship where we were together for 10 years and I was not getting my needs met, right? And I wasn't meeting my needs. I felt like I was too emotional. Everything that I wanted to engage in, all of my interests were always put down and ridiculed. Everything that I wanted to do was wrong in my eyes and in his eyes. And I just thought that that's all there was to life. I just thought everyone was living in the same experience. And it took a lot for me to actually move out of that and choose something different, because I recognize that the pain of living there and the pain of wanting more and the fear of not knowing what would happen, that this fear outweighed this fear. And so I realized that I may as well go for it, even though it's scary, even though I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know if I'm going to survive, and I've now got 2 kids and all of the things. I made that choice because I knew deep down, and this is the thing, if you're a magical woman, you know deep down that you are destined for more. It's true. There's a part of you inside that knows there is more to life than what you're experiencing right now. Because we are powerful creators, and we are here to embody that light. The creator, right, just say our superconscious is what I call it, is the information of everything that ever was, will be, and is now, right? So all potential, all possibility, it's got unlimited intelligence. It's way more intelligent than we could even fathom, right? So everything, all time, space, realities, everything that you could ever imagine and beyond that, because we can only imagine our limited life. All of that is in this superconscious, right? This creator. And then we've got these layers, like we've got, archangels and masters and guides and, you name it, angels and all of those things. And all of it comes down into us. And we are an echo of all of that. We have all of that within us. We are just a reflection of all that is. And so when you move into mastery, when you recognize yourself as a creator, and you start making choices from that place, from the place of creation, from the place of being in your fullest potential, in your full light, that's when things start to shift. And we move from living in 3rd dimension, 4th dimension, 5th dimension, into 6th dimension, 7th dimension, and we start shifting the vibration of ourselves, and through that, everything in our world echoes that, and we now start creating this amazing reality where everything is echoing and reflecting that internal creative force that we have, that potential, that highest energy, where we are not under pressure anymore. We are not living in our sabotage beliefs. We are not victim to the powers that be. We are not giving our power away to anyone, anything external, any influences externally, any beliefs, our mind, right? The mind that wants to hold you back in the place of being separate. All of those things, we are not giving our power away to anything external to us. Everything is a mirror reflection of our internal force, our empowerment, right? That enlightened state. Because when you move into 7th dimension, there is no pressure, right? You are just in that light. And so as we move into these things, what I have recognized is that people that are on the path of being magical and living in their sovereignty and living as, higher beings, can still be governed by old beliefs of giving power away to rituals, or giving power away to the old ways of doing things in the spiritual community. And where we need to rise above that, we need to rise into that place where we are shifting our reality as we, moment by moment, right? We pick up, we become really deeply self-aware, and we pick up when our energy is going out and leaving our system. I had an experience the other day where, so Tim and I are, I've joined forces with Tim. I think I've shared this before. I joined forces with Tim, and I'm now supporting him to create his dream project, right, that he's wanted to do since he was a little kid. He's always wanted to build his own boat, right? And this is not a small boat. This is a 47-foot catamaran. So it's not a small feat, right? And so he's got all of the plans, and he's putting it all together. And the more and more I'm creating, the more I'm recognizing our co-creation. And I had this download a couple of months ago while I was driving up to Sydney, like just this thing that just downloaded into me. And from that, we spent hours and hours coming together with this new idea for his dream, right? And it's just magic. It's absolutely magic. And I can't share anymore, and I'd love to, but I can't. But through this process, we've joined forces. I'm supporting him in his business and doing all the things. And we had a meeting with someone the other day that's going to support us to marry this energy that I've come up with, that's going to go in with all the structures and all the mastery that Tim knows about bows into that process, right? And so as we were having this conversation and meeting with this guy, he said, I want to start with what your story is. And it was really interesting because, if you've been hanging around for a while, you know that Tim and I have got a very interesting story together. We met in a beautiful, magical, movie-style experience, the only two on the beach. He walked past and waved. He came back. We started walking and talking and fell in love. Took a little while because I was being resistant. But he was just everything that I wanted, and I just didn't see it in front of me because of my own sabotage beliefs, right, that I had to clean up and clear, and I did as we went along, thank goodness. But the universe always throws things in front of me so that I don't miss them. And who else would miss this? But my maiden name was Payne, Payne, and his last name is Makepeace. So as we were talking to this guy, I was, thinking about our story and, the romantic bubble that we've been in ever since and all of the things. But my mind goes back to that beach experience, and something dropped in when he said that, the realization that I'm still living my story. We're still living our story. And I felt, when I say drop in, I felt my body and my energy come back into myself. And when that happened, I realized that there's parts of me that have been external still, giving my power away to external circumstances. And so when I went back into living my story, which sort of ties into the Matrix, ties into a whole heap of stuff that I already believed, but I didn't realize I'd been giving that energy away, and that I'm still living my story. And so I want to ask you what your story is, because when we give our energy external to influences, to circumstances, to experiences, to other people, to the powers that be, the government, society, all of those things, rules and regulations, the way we define ourselves, the way that we define the world, all of these things, there's so many different parts to it. Our energy is external to us, is not in our body anymore, and so we're not living our fullest capacity and living within our own scope of what the soul came here to experience. So when you live in that, like when you have all of your energy, so since then, I constantly have been asking myself, so what's my story today? What's my dream today? What's my vision today? What's my soul experiencing today in this body? Because once this body's gone, this body's gone. My soul will move on and will experience something else, and I'm looking forward to that myself. But I'm also looking forward to expanding this body, expanding this light, expanding into what else I need to experience in this story. So as a creator, where is your energy? And what part of your story are you living? Are you living your true story? Are you living what your soul came here to experience? Are you seeing yourself as separate, traumatized, living in the drama of life, feeling separate, alone, frustrated, annoyed, overwhelmed, out of control? Because that's not what the soul came to experience. The soul came down to experience more than that. The soul came down to break the patterns of the past, to live in sovereignty. If you're on the planet at this moment, we are all here to break the patterns of the past, the woundings of our childhood and our generations before us, right? The legacy that was given to us. We're here to break that into pieces and create something new, to live beyond that scope. We are here for greatness. And so to be a creator means stepping out of the limitation. It means not focusing on what it is that was in your past lives, timelines, all of those things. They're important, but they're important in the now moment, not to keep going into and focusing on what they were, what they're doing to us, and it's a cesspit of it's going down the spiral case, and it just is eternal. Because ultimately, whatever the cells were that created this planet, and we are energetically linked to the first level of consciousness on the planet. We are going to constantly be finding things to find as fault. What we're here to do is to create. when we turn our back on those things and move into choosing what it is that we're here for, choosing to create, and then look at what's getting looking at what's getting in the way here and now, right? I'm not saying that that's not relevant. What I'm saying is there's moments that can happen in the current reality that are getting in the way, that's holding us back from that creation. So we step into the current reality and we go, okay, what's holding us back right now? What's the limitation right now? Let's clear that out of the way so that we can move forward into creation, right? Keep on alchemizing our life, alchemizing our reality, being the creators, stepping back into that, witch energy, the energy of the wise woman, living our purpose. So in today's session, one of the things that I want to offer, because at the end of each session, I always want to offer something of a service, something to share that's going to support you to become more and more of who you are, to let go of the past, to really step into your sovereignty, to really step into your power as a magical woman, right? Because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to, build this mission of more and more women consciously creating. What happened in my world is my Conscious Creator Circle, which was a $10,000 program, I have shifted and changed it. We no longer do live sessions. We used to do a Tuesday and a Wednesday live session. My world's changing and evolving into something different and morphing, and I haven't grabbed hold of is very interesting because it feels like it's going to be sort of like group spontaneous coaching to really help elevate people, but I haven't quite grabbed what it is yet. However, Conscious Creator Circle was around for nearly 5 years. We have hundreds and hundreds of recodes. We have, a meditation hub in there. We've got, modules that are, short, sharp, to the point. It's still this beautiful golden vault of wisdom in there, and jam-packed with everything that you need to be a creator, all the things that you need to move your focus and to release the things that are getting in the way so that you're elevating, and becoming sovereign, becoming your own empowered being, and letting go of this influence that's created outside of yourself and bringing yourself back into you, right? So that doesn't mean that it's not for people that are at the start of their journey, or feel like that they're never going to be able to change some of their things. This is the work, right? This is it works for I haven't had anyone in that course that said or that hasn't had some form of change, right? It's a very, very powerful course. And so what I'm doing is I'm making that a standalone course. So you can go in, you can do all the things that you need in there, and there's heaps of stuff to check out. Easy, quick, long if you want, depending on where you're at and what you want. So that course is what I'm doing at the moment, and I'm extending this to all of magical women, right? Awakening magical women. Because I just finished Child of the New Moon. It was a 7-day course, and it was really powerful. And I had a few people in that course that went into the offer that I gave. And what I gave was a month in Conscious Creator Circle with 2 one-on-one sessions with me. And so I want to extend that to anyone that is just, you know, you might not feel like you're ready, right? We're never freaking ready. We're never ready, right? It's like saying, I'm going to have a baby when I'm ready, right? Life gets in the way, things get in the way, beliefs get in the way, limitations get in the way, all of those things, the things that are holding you back in resistance are the things that are going to give you all of the excuses why it's not for you right now, right? But if this is something that feels like, you know, there's this call, this pull, you know that you're in a situation that just isn't aligned to you anymore, right? You know that you're destined for more, then reach out to me in the DMs, put creator into the DMs, and we'll know that you're looking to jump on a call, and we can discuss whether this is a, you know, fit for you, what might need to shift and change. I mean, we might be able to fix something just like that in the call, right? This is not just a sales call. This is an inquiry. And so if it doesn't work for you, and it's something that you might be, you know, like that there is something else, and it might be something, you know, that's not of me, then we will work on that as well. But if Conscious Creator Circle, 1 month with 2 sessions, sounds like it's a possibility and you want to find out more, just DM me in Messenger, Creator, and we'll get on a call and we'll discuss it and see if it's a fit for you. So one of the things, we've got one more session for July, and I have just come up with an idea, I thought, an inspired action that happened to me this morning, is that I'm going to start doing pause on my personal page. One of the things that's happening with Facebook is Facebook are changing the algorithm, changing things around, and it's not conducive to groups anymore, which is a real shame because I love this group. But I'm going to reach more people if I go on my personal page. So I'm going to start doing pause on my personal page, and what we'll do is we'll share it into this group. So if you're not friends with me or following me on Facebook, then jump over. My name's Elizabeth Elenor, Make Peace, and I'd love to see you there. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will catch you. Oh, by the way, next Wednesday, we have, I think it's next Wednesday, is we have my monthly mixer, which is our monthly mixer, which is a Peacemaker Ascension Portal. So if you're interested in that, just put peace into the comments and we'll send you the link for that. And I will catch you next Tuesday. See ya.